Estaford, Hungary. 9 meals in 3 days reappeared in Mongolia. When hunting in an extremely cold place, I picked up a wild sheep. I brought it back to camp and arrogantly cooked smoked dried lamb. I also caught a giant black mouse. Completely free from the curse of hunger, 3 days, 9 meals. 9 hungry meals in 3 days. With a temperature of minus 20 degrees Celsius. Alone in the snowy mountains of Mongolia. It's not a vacation. That's Estaford. A man who is against his own limits. After survival times. Success in Vietnam and Thailand. This time I chose a place that was harsher than death. The Mongolian mountains covered in snow and wild animals. No food. No help. It's just instinct and will. When the stomach is empty, hand run, and the eyes start to lose their sense of energy. I picked up a wild sheep and a giant black mouse. In the darkness of the cold, hand-smoked meat is not just food. It's about survival. This is no longer an adventure. This is a gamble with life. Continue the successful challenge on Thai soil. Vietnam last time. Of these S again to the snow mountains in Mongolia. It's the lowest temperature in winter here. It can go up to minus 20 degrees Celsius. Compared to the last wet rainforest. They're two extremes when the driver takes S to the survival point. Then drive towards his wife S at home, without looking back. These are still the old rules. Except on the teeth under the sand. I just brought the video equipment. And emergency items in BA lots. The first task this time was to walk 50 kilometers through the mountains. Then walk another 50 kilometers to get to the nomadic settlement. The cold winds are freezing, at speeds up to 80 kilometers per hour. It makes every step you take quite difficult. Look at this spooky place so flat. What worries me the most right now? It's a campsite. Tonight, when you're walking, it's blocked by a frozen lake. Look at the forest by the lake. Based on years of forest experience, you can't just spend the night there. There's certainly a lot of protein here. To face this temptation, he immediately began to cross the lake to find out what's going on. At first, everything went very well. I can't believe the ice beneath my feet cracked. After just a few steps, I heard immediately scared and pale. I hurried back the way I came. Eventually, if you fall, I'll be stiff in a few minutes. I have no choice. In addition to starting a detour along the lakefront, early trip opens a new luck. I saw what seemed to be a wild bungalow. At the foot of the mountain ahead, if you get some stuff, you can survive more easily. Completing the challenge is not a problem anymore. When we get to the bungalow, I started knocking on the door and, "Hi, if anyone is in." For a long time, no one opened the door. Looks like the idea of eating has been cancelled. So you can only look for supplies. Round. Soon he picked up 2 small abandoned cans of iron. There's also a piece of sheepskin that can be used as a pillow. Then you continue to set off without stopping. For hours later, the sun is about to set. I remember the campsite. It hasn't been found tonight. I can't help but start to get nervous. I was in a hurry to find some trees. There doesn't seem to be time to build a shelter. I have no choice. In addition to finding a bush and spending the night there. At night, the temperature begins to drop sharply. I was so cold I almost left. I finally made it to the next morning. After a simple startup, you leave without breakfast. On the way, I saw a small ditch. Without a word, I drank half. Finished drinking, I looked up and saw a big black mouse. Into the cave. Face this nourishing meal. Delivered to the mouth. Of course, S won't leave it alone. Think for 2.5 minutes, he decided to flood the line. Then he took out the little iron can. And go to the trench to fill with water. Go back and pour it into the rat hole. Soon the unlucky mouse jumped out of the cave. Thanks to the virtue of fasting, quick hand so you can grab it right away. This protein can be considered a breakthrough. Then he quickly shoved it into the iron and packed it. I don't know how long the journey will take. I finally got to the foot of the mountain. So I found a flat spot. and decided to set up camp there. The first priority right now is to quickly light the campfire. After collecting 10 hay, he went to collect 10 sap from the pine tree. This stick is a very good combustion aid. I thought you'd pick up branches and drill wood to start a fire. I can't believe you took the battery straight out of his pocket. Humid environment, wet forces you to break your habits. After opening the battery, he connected the anode to the cathode with a small iron wire. Put it in a haystack, and soon the fire will burn. That's smart. It's actually more useful than a lighter. Countless times. Then he cut the mouse into 8 pieces and threw it in an iron box. Then put it directly on the fire and heat it on a large fire. While cooking meat, you start building a shelter again. A simple and hassle-free sloping roof camp. Definitely the best choice. The roof only needs to be covered with a few trees. After much effort, it's finally over. Until then, even if it snows, this camp can cope. After a busy time, the mouse soup has been successfully cooked. It's really one of my favorites. Of the gourmet. You can tell from the look on S's face. The taste hurts the armpit. Soon he ate all the water and the... Time to day 3. I packed my bags and left early. After 2.5 hours of walking, suddenly another frozen lake appeared in front of. Learning from the past, I also have a sad face. However, considering the altitude here, to save time, they rarely choose to go around. After a horrible journey, I finally got to the lake. There's no time to be happy. The steep cliffs in front give me another difficulty. I almost met them when I left. Fortunately, I still managed to climb to the top. This road is not possible, and the risk is too great. After careful consideration, I decided to go back the same way. Then try another reliable route. Suddenly the crow was flying overhead to get your attention. Based on years of forest experience, there must be some dead animal around here. As expected, I haven't gone very far. Not far away, I saw an animal lying motionless. As he got closer, he saw that most of it had been eaten by crows, although still accompanied by a rancid smell. But I want to take out a piece of the organ. People who smell bad. But when you try a bite, I see no obvious signs of decay. It can still be eaten after a little processing. After a moment of thinking, you've changed your plan. I decided to take the sheep back to camp yesterday. Wait until there is enough food and drink to have enough strength before leaving. When he got back to camp, he used stones to skin sheep. Then I'm anxious to grill some meat first. The rest is cut into long pieces of stone. Then hang it all on the rack to make smoke-dried lamb. Having a busy day. The next morning it started to rain, and there was ice and snow. The mountain's peak is still in fog. To rush into the mountains in weather like this, it's obviously a waste of time. Impotent. You can just sit in camp and eat roasted lamb legs. If you look at the meat, this is delicious. Finished eating wild garlic cherries nearby. Proverbs spoken. Eating meat without garlic has the flavor. After taking a bite, Ed said with a satisfied expression. In the afternoon the weather did not improve. You can just stay in camp and be bored. Time to Thursday. It looks like the weather is good today. Press back and start tidying up your gear. Smoked dried lamb is also finished. Looks like you won't have to worry. Food in the next few days. After packing up, I confidently set out. With the blessing of dried lamb, forest progress has also improved in terms of quality. As soon as you eat, I can't believe my leg is cramping at the spot that causes me pain. I think the proverb that heaven fights to avoid food is wrong. We finally reached the top of the mountain. Look at the mountains in front of you. I can't see the edge at all. What's worse is, the snow seriously affected the speed, moving forward. So I thought, how to soften your ass to move on the snow. Then snowshoes. It quickly makes your whole body weak. I have no choice, other than lying on the ground, and start twisting. But what's worse is that the sun's rays are refracted by the snow. It makes your eyes start to burn and blur. I decided to find a place to spend the night. Wait until it snows hard tomorrow morning before leaving again. The next second I started digging into the snow. Plan to avoid freezing at night. digging a room. When finished, the sheepskin is combed. When the night falls, you complain on camera, and then you go to bed early. Early the next morning I came out of the hole. As expected, it's pretty easy to walk. But it hasn't been long. When the sun rises, the snow begins to melt again. You're facing the same problem of yesterday. The snow was so thick that I couldn't walk on it. In the midst of despair, I can only wear pants on the snow. It's like this difficult climb. For more than 2 hours, at the snail's speed. I guess I'll be frozen. Hard even before reaching the destination. And the dried lamb that was prepared before was also out. At this time, it's almost impossible to find food in this damn place. So much power comes at this time. I can't help but feel sad. Finally, after careful consideration, he took his satellite phone with a reluctant expression on his face. Start calling the rescue team. Because it is high, the waves are weak. You said you couldn't take it anymore. I decided to give up the challenge. The current situation is so bad that it is impossible to walk through the snow. I'm stuck and exhausted. Find a car to come to your aid and take you right away. As soon as possible, I can't take it anymore. The rescuer asked you to send the coordinates. After the call, he dragged the 3 Lao to the evacuation point. This is also why Sao S has survived in the wild. So many years. For the first time in the snow mountain nature in Mongolia, conquest. Finally, with the arrival of the rescue team, S thirst on the car exhausted physically and mentally. So this challenge has 7 failed successfully. In the next section, this time Estaford went out to the marshes and crooked crabs. Although he was granted, he harvested quite abundantly. In the evening, there was little na grilling charcoal as long as a burden. Eating too much meat. Try some wild fruits. To reduce the greasy feeling. The combination of meat and vegetables is both nutritious and delicious. He's a renowned famine expert across the country. Of these, S will embark on a new challenge of survival. It's located in Madagascar on 6 continents of Africa. After arriving in a car, then I moved to the boat. The 2 boating brothers are indigenous. Getting to the starting point of the challenge, under the supervision of the arbitrator. Because it's hot and dry, it's easy to get sunstroke. The next priority is to find fresh water supplies, as soon as possible. Waiting to arrive. S started this hungry journey. Full of confidence. Say goodbye to 2 Indian brothers. This time we went to a small village. 40 kilometers away. Equipment you carry, it's still emergency medical supplies. Out. They also carry video and photo equipment. The hair has not yet grown. Based on years of forested experience, quickly determine the direction of the village. Then he picked up his backpack and started his journey towards the goal. Mud on the ground, it feels like wax when you step on it. It's almost impossible to move in an easy way. I've only taken a few steps, and I'm so tired I can't breathe. The feeling of stepping on this shit is almost overwhelming. I don't know how many calories I spent. He finally crawled on his hands and knees to step outside. Not long after you left, the next line was blocked by a small river. Maybe there's a crocodile. If you jump into the water quickly, you may have to close your account on the spot. After thinking briefly for a minute and a half, I decided to take a detour. Then I realized the water was starting to rise. This discovery immediately makes you look sad. There's no other way. Out, carry backpack up and back in the same way. Speed. Your footsteps also begin to rise. Watching the tide rise faster and faster. No way. You can win at your current speed. I'm getting more and more scared right now. Then he walked out without knowing. How long does it take for a sandbar to finally appear in front of you? Then I quickly came to find out. As expected, when I stepped up, it felt very dry. S's face couldn't help but start to bloom. All around you is the ocean. And it still seems to be rising. I'm starting to feel a little insecure. In the blink of an eye, came again the next day. Fortunately, the campsite you chose last night was high enough. It was a peaceful night. When the tide goes out, I'll start again. Over time, the temperature also began to rise. 2.5 hours of walking in the scorching sun. Now that his mouth is dry, his consciousness is beginning to blur. The scorching heat seemed to make me too thirsty. This is a sign of mild dehydration. After the last 3 hours, I also left the swamp. While walking, a silly bird suddenly flying out of the bushes in front of me. Hurry up and check. I can't believe there are eggs in the nest. When I opened it, I saw that it was red and there was blood in it. And it's also developing most of its limbs. I've eaten a lot of food in the forest over the years. To face this, I can't help but feel my scalp numb. But when I think back, I've been hungry for 6 meals in the last 2 days. I have no other way, in addition to enduring the discomfort and swallowing it. I don't know if I've been hungry for too long. When I tasted it, I found it actually tasted pretty good. And then I can't wait to pick up another one and put it in my mouth. It's so good you can grind your teeth. Added a few extra calories. I keep moving forward under the sun. Burning. Soon I was in the baobab forest. The trees in front are endemic to the area. They say it can live for thousands of years. About whether you can live that long, I'm not in the mood right now. Care about that too. I just know that if you don't drink water, will not survive this day. He went back to find a shady tree to rest. Except for the previous to bird eggs. I haven't drunk a drop of water yet. I'm just tired of being thirsty and dizziness. Even the brain starts to get dull. When you're thinking, should I call and carry backpacks to a 1 Leo melon tree next door to get your attention? Based on survival experience. Sure, the roots in the ground must have fresh water. He started taking branches and started digging into the ground. I've been digging like that for almost half an hour. And suddenly a soft root appeared. When I pulled raw out, I found it big and long, and it was an exhilarating look on my face. He quickly put it in his mouth and chewed. Bite each piece crispy. This large piece of root contains at least 1 ounce of water, 300 ml water bottle. It has a mild coconut aroma and it's rich in carbohydrates. After eating, I feel satisfied. Don't forget the soil so that it continues to grow. Like this when the AI is passing by. You can still take it out and continue to enjoy it. Eat well as the sun sets in the west. The time has come for the 3rd day. To avoid the previous mangroves. Now the road ahead. Have been seriously derailed about breakfast today. That's the baobab on the tree. Due to height restrictions, I can only search on the ground. Soon I found a fallen one. Open it, you see the fruit is full of guts. Put it in your mouth to taste it. After tasting a little, I think it tastes a little bit like fermented malt. Apart from vitamins, it's also rich in essential minerals. For your body, people. Of course, I won't let go of such a good thing. Then you pack 2 and take them to enjoy. The most important thing right now is water. After a long journey, he came to a dry riverbed. Suddenly, I found the ground a little wet. It makes a scraping sound when you step on it with your feet. Without saying anything, you start digging. When fresh water sprays out, I don't care about anything. You just need to drink directly. After a few big sips, even the bald head, you're also starting to think more. To pack hard-earned fresh water and take it away. He drilled a hole in a baobab. Finally, fill it with water. Wait until the powder and water mix. Absolutely. You can also take a nourishing smoothie at any time. After water replenishment, reborn full of blood and start again. As you walk, you are in front of the scene. In front of you is a little girl as big as a stick. Face this kind of nourishing meal. Delivered to the end. As thirst and worry will not show mercy. Then he picked up his wooden stick and threw a few blows. Death. It was not long before the unlucky girl was born. I'll put it in my pocket and pack it up. Then you keep on going without stopping. After a long journey, I find it's late. So I found a big 8-pack tree to rest on. Overnight, then he picked up his wooden stick and started a fire. Think of barbecue cassava. You're full of energy. In a hot, dry environment, the fire quickly broke out. Then he dug a hole and put naan in it. After the fire is over, just wait a moment. It's a coincidence that it started to thunder. Your luck is bad. This place is dry all year round, and it almost never rains. I ran into you while you were eating roasted snake meat. Luckily, the charcoal grilled snake was finally cooked. After being hungry for too long, you can finally eat some protein. He lay on the ground and started enjoying his meal. This is better than the previous bird's egg countless times. Soft meat inside and burnt outside. It smells so good I can't stop chewing. After a good meal, go to bed. Time to Thursday. In the morning I take my hungry stomach out. After an early morning journey on the road is finally back on track. I don't have much fresh water on me right now. I can't help but feel sad. But the bad doesn't stop there. What a surprise! Another mangrove swamp appears in front. I stood there thinking for a long time, with a pitiful expression on my face. Face the situation. I chose to take a detour once again. When the time comes to noon, the temperature has risen to a staggering 40 degrees. Just when you're about to, can't take it anymore. Suddenly a pool of water appeared in front of him. I can't think much, I'm in a hurry. His bald head up to cool off. After tasting a little, I found out it's fresh water. Then the face blooms back immediately. After drinking water, I decided to spend the night here. Put down 3 lots and went to the mangroves to look for protein. The next second he pokes a hole in the ground. After poking not enough, so I started poking it out. Cherry, round and caught a big blue crab. The success of the first time filled me with confidence. Then, he started doing the same thing to catch the second one. I can't believe you were taught a lesson by a crab. While digging the soil, I had it stolen from my finger. In spite of pain but luck, very impressive harvest replacement. Go back to camp and cook. Next second you start to enjoy delicious food. Take a look, these plump pieces of crab meat. Eat a piece of fragrant fatty flavor. After eating and drinking, the night falls. Time to Friday. After the trip in the early morning, the sixth sense tells me I'm not far from the village now. To avoid missing out, he decided to go up the hill and observe the route. At the foot of the mountain, you are welcome by a new feeling like stepping on shit. It's on the ground, sliding down a step every 2 steps. Finally, you've used tricks like a cow snake to get to the top. The result is nothing. I have no choice. In addition to dragging his exhausted body and moving on. 2.5 hours later, moving under the scorching sun. I can't stand it. And then he found an open space to set up camp. At night he was exhausted and fell asleep. The next morning, I returned to full health and start back on the road. 2.5 hours passed in the blink of an eye. At this time on the ground there are many traces of cows' feet. Prove that the destination is not far away. After taking all my strength to climb the sand, I finally saw the small village I had always been. Wish. Then I got on the boat and come home with great joy. This challenge also ended successfully. Educational analysis of lessons from frozen regions. A bravery is not without fear. It's about moving on when you're shaking. Estaford facing the skin-cutting cold. It's hunger and absolute solitude. I keep going, not because I'm not afraid. But being afraid doesn't help me survive. To food not. It is not up to the survivor to take the initiative. Wild sheep and rats don't come to Estaford camp. Ambush and action. Survival requires initiative, there's no room for hesitation. BA food handling skills are vital. Cold environments slow the growth of bacteria. It also makes meat easy to freeze. The way you kiss the smoke to conserve and keep the energy. It's a real lesson in survival cuisine. 4. Self-confidence is the fire against despair. After eating, Estaford walked away with a haughty look. It's not arrogance. It's the expression of the person who just won a silent battle with death. Practical advice from the program. One always learns the skill of detecting animal tracks. Even without tools. If you recognize the wind's divergent footprints, you can still catch the prey. 1-2. Know how to prepare and store food. In nature. Smoke drying wind. Cold buried in simple ways. Can extend life in extreme conditions. BA. Survival psychology must be solid. The arrogance, after eat of Estaford, is not the gig. It's a psychological recovery signal. When the mind is awake, the body can fight. 4. Prepare physically and mentally for the worst. Where it can be minus 20 degrees Celsius. One small mistake is enough to die. There is no second time for carelessness. Or the ending. You won't know how strong you are until it's freezing, hungry and lonely at the same time. Estaford not only crossed the Mongolian snowy mountains. You get over yourself. And that's the greatest survival triumph.